You need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I file a few lawsuits and I'm in the court.
Allegedly paid $130,000.
Well, you all cancel culture, and she claims there can be unintended consequences. Take a look.
The abrupt shutdown of The View has sent shockwaves across the media landscape, marking the end of one of the most controversial and politically charged talk shows in television history. For nearly 3 decades, The View thrived on heated debates, strong political opinions,
All cancel culture, and she claims there can be unintended consequences. Take a look.
and controversial statements, making it both a beloved and divisive show. However, its constant attacks on public figures, unverified claims, and inflammatory rhetoric ultimately led to its downfall. At the center of this shocking cancellation is Melania Trump, the former First Lady, who, after years of enduring mockery, false accusations, and character assassination from The View, finally took legal action. Her massive defamation lawsuit against ABC and the show's key hosts, including Whoopi Goldberg, Behar, and Sunny Hostin, exposed a pattern of reckless commentary, misinformation, and targeted attacks. The lawsuit became a financial and reputational disaster for ABC, forcing the network to make a difficult decision: shut down The View permanently or risk even greater legal and financial consequences. While The View had survived numerous controversies in the past, this time was different. Melania's lawsuit was not just about defamation.
You need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I file a few lawsuits and I'm in the court.
It symbolized a growing movement against mainstream media's unchecked power and biased reporting. For years, The View had operated under the belief that it could criticize, mock, and slander public figures without consequences. But Melania's legal battle sent a clear message: even powerful networks and celebrity hosts are not above accountability. Melania Trump had been a frequent punching bag for The View during her time as First Lady and beyond. Unlike many media figures who went after Donald Trump directly, The View repeatedly attacked Melania on a personal level, often using her immigrant background, accent, and private life as material for mockery. Among the most damaging accusations made by The View over the years, false claims about her marriage. The show frequently suggested that Melania hated Donald Trump, was only staying with him for financial gain, and was secretly planning a divorce. Baseless attacks on her intelligence, hosts, particularly Behar and Sunny Hostin, repeatedly implied that Melania was not intelligent enough to be First Lady, mocking her speech, accent, and public statements. Misrepresentation of her personal beliefs. Whoopi Goldberg once suggested that Melania secretly disagreed with her husband's policies and was a victim of his control, a claim that Melania never confirmed or supported. The infamous "I don't care" jacket controversy. The View distorted the meaning behind the green jacket Melania wore during a trip to the southern border, falsely claiming it was mocking immigrants, when in reality it was directed at the media's unfair treatment of her.
You need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I file a few lawsuits and I'm in the court now.
For years, Melania Trump chose to remain silent, refusing to engage in public feuds with television personalities. However, behind the scenes, her legal team was gathering evidence and waiting for the right moment to hold the show accountable for its repeated falsehoods and character attacks. When news of Melania's lawsuit first broke, ABC executives reportedly brushed it off, believing it would be just another legal battle that could be handled quietly. However, they quickly realized that this was not an ordinary lawsuit. It was a calculated and well-prepared attack on the network's credibility. Legal experts who reviewed the case suggested that Melania's lawsuit was rock solid. Unlike other celebrities who had attempted defamation cases against the media, Melania had clear evidence of slander, damaging falsehoods, and targeted harassment. Leaked internal discussions revealed that ABC executives were concerned about the potential legal costs, public fallout, and advertiser reactions. The panic at ABC only intensified when Barbara Walters, the original creator of The View, reportedly stepped in, warning that the show had completely lost its original purpose. Walters, a legendary journalist known for her credibility and professionalism, was reportedly furious that The View had become a political attack show, rather than a space for balanced discussion. As the pressure mounted, ABC executives were forced to reevaluate the future of the show. They knew that if Melania's lawsuit proceeded, more celebrities and public figures could follow, leading to an avalanche of lawsuits that could cripple the network. The cancellation of The View was met with outrage, panic, and finger-pointing among its longtime hosts. Whoopi Goldberg was reportedly in full meltdown mode, calling her industry connections and demanding answers about how this happened and how she could salvage her career. Sources say she is desperate to stay relevant, fearing that her entertainment career is over after years of controversy. Joy Behar, who spent decades attacking conservatives, reportedly panicked when she realized she had no backup plan. She had spent years mocking Donald Trump, Republicans, and right-wing media, and now that her platform was gone, she had nowhere to turn. Sunny Hostin faced the biggest backlash. She was personally named in Melania's lawsuit. ABC executives, desperate to limit the damage, immediately fired her from the show, throwing her under the bus to protect themselves. The shutdown of The View is not just about one lawsuit. It represents a major shift in media accountability. For years, talk shows and news outlets have gotten away with biased reporting, reckless accusations, and political smear campaigns. But Melania Trump's lawsuit proved that the tide is turning. With Donald Trump running for president again, many are speculating that more lawsuits will follow, targeting networks that spread false narratives. Some reports suggest that ABC itself could be in legal trouble, with Trump allies calling for greater media oversight and even revoking broadcasting licenses for outlets that engage in politically motivated defamation. The real question is, will this be the start of a larger movement against biased mainstream media? With The View permanently off the air, the media landscape may never be the same again. For years, The View relentlessly targeted Melania Trump with harsh criticism, misinformation, and outright mockery. The co-hosts repeatedly pushed false narratives about her personal life, often portraying her as unintelligent, complicit, or deeply unhappy in her marriage. Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar frequently speculated that she was planning to divorce Donald Trump, despite no evidence supporting the claim. They falsely accused her of hating Christmas traditions at the White House and mocked her accent and intelligence. Some discussions even went as far as questioning her background and legitimacy as First Lady. After remaining silent for years, Melania finally fought back with a defamation lawsuit, directly naming Whoopi, Joy, and Sunny Hostin. ABC initially dismissed the case, assuming it could be settled quietly, but legal experts quickly determined that Melania had strong evidence to prove defamation. Advertisers, fearing backlash, began pulling their sponsorships, creating a financial crisis for the network. Facing mounting legal costs, a declining reputation, and the possibility of an even larger scandal if internal emails were exposed, ABC executives made the unavoidable decision to shut down The View permanently. Melania's legal battle proved that even powerful media platforms are not above accountability. ABC's decision to shut down The View wasn't just about one lawsuit. It was the result of years of reckless commentary, declining credibility, and growing public backlash. The network had long tolerated the show's controversial debates and politically charged attacks, but when Melania Trump's lawsuit gained traction, it became clear that the legal and financial risks were too great to ignore. Initially, ABC executives believed they could settle the lawsuit quietly, but as legal experts analyzed the case, it became clear that Melania had a strong argument for defamation. If the lawsuit proceeded to trial, internal emails, unedited footage, and network discussions could be exposed, further damaging the network's reputation. To make matters worse, major advertisers began pulling their sponsorships, fearing negative publicity. With millions in legal fees on the horizon and the potential for even more lawsuits from other public figures who had been targeted, ABC realized that keeping The View on air was no longer sustainable. As panic set in behind the scenes, tensions between the co-hosts escalated. Whoopi Goldberg, realizing her career was in jeopardy, scrambled to protect her future, reaching out to industry connections in a desperate attempt to salvage her standing. Joy Behar, who had built her career on attacking conservatives and Republican figures, suddenly found herself without a platform and no clear backup plan. Sunny Hostin, named directly in the lawsuit, became the network's scapegoat, as ABC fired her almost immediately to minimize further legal exposure. Even beyond The View, ABC itself faced broader scrutiny. Some reports suggested that Donald Trump's allies were pushing for greater media accountability, questioning whether mainstream networks should face legal consequences for spreading false narratives under the guise of political commentary. The cancellation of The View sent a clear message to the media industry. Recklessly attacking public figures without evidence could have real consequences. The show's shutdown was more than just a programming decision. It marked a turning point in the battle over media accountability. For years, The View operated under the assumption that it could say anything without consequences, but Melania Trump's lawsuit proved otherwise. With The View permanently off the air, many are now wondering, will other mainstream networks face the same reckoning? The cancellation of The View was met with panic, outrage, and finger-pointing among its co-hosts. For years, Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar thrived on the controversy the show generated. But now, with its abrupt shutdown, they found themselves without a platform or a clear future. Behind the scenes, tensions ran high as the realization set in that The View was not coming back. Whoopi Goldberg, who had long used the show as a platform for unfiltered political opinions and celebrity criticism, reportedly lost it when she was told the show was over. Sources close to ABC revealed that Whoopi had been making frantic calls to her industry contacts, attempting to salvage her career and secure new opportunities. However, with The View's reputation in shambles and legal scrutiny surrounding the show's controversial statements, many were reluctant to associate with her. Joy Behar, one of the longest-running hosts, reportedly panicked when she realized she had no backup plan. Having spent years mocking conservative figures and engaging in high-profile political feuds, Joy now faced the reality of being out of a job with limited options. Insiders claim that she was furious with ABC executives, believing they should have fought harder to keep the show alive. Sunny Hostin took the biggest hit, as she was personally named in Melania Trump's lawsuit. In an attempt to minimize further legal exposure, ABC executives immediately fired her, cutting ties in hopes of containing the damage. While Sunny had always portrayed herself as a legal expert and media analyst, the lawsuit revealed her role in spreading false narratives, making her a liability for the network. ABC executives knew that firing the co-hosts wouldn't be enough to restore the network's credibility, but they had little choice. With legal fees piling up, major advertisers walking away, and the possibility of even more lawsuits from other celebrities who had been defamed, The View was simply too costly to keep on air. Beyond the collapse of The View, ABC's entire news and entertainment division faced serious scrutiny. There were growing calls for accountability in media, with some political figures arguing that mainstream networks should be held responsible for reckless and defamatory reporting. Reports surfaced that Donald Trump's allies were pushing for media reforms, demanding stricter regulations to prevent networks from spreading misleading or false information about public figures. The shutdown of The View became a turning point in media accountability, serving as a warning to other networks. With The View permanently off the air, the question remains: will other talk shows and media platforms face the same reckoning? And could more defamation lawsuits lead to an even larger shakeup in mainstream media? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for the latest updates.